here. And I'm going to start with you, Harry. In all seriousness, right?
Yep.
Feels like it's been 2 seasons for the Cowboys this season. Have the Cowboys overachieved or underachieved thus far?
Up until this moment, I think they've overachieved. I don't think anybody would have thought they would have been 10-4 at this moment. Not only that, you look at the guys on their defense. I don't think many people thought their defense would be this good at this juncture right now with creating the turnovers. Not only that, Michael Parsons, everyone knew he was the best defensive player in the draft, but they didn't know he was going to have this impact on a football team. Right now, 12 sacks as a rookie. But then I'll take it to the secondary. Trayvon Diggs leads the NFL right now with 10 interceptions. So if we're looking at right now up to this point, I think they have overachieved as a team at this moment. But I don't think they're satisfied because it's a bigger goal out there, Molly, and the bigger goal is to win a Super Bowl.
Maybe Harry was surprised by the Cowboys. I expected them to win the division. I expected them to make the NFC title game. Like, when you look at this roster top to bottom, yeah. To me, it's NFC title game or bust. Like, this is not a Dallas team where you're sort of like, I don't know, they don't really have any playmakers. They have a ton of playmakers. They have a plethora of playmakers. The only thing that can really stop this team is if Mike McCarthy starts Mike McCarthying all the way through the end of the season. So to me, I would actually argue at 10-4, they kind of underachieved. Not because the record isn't good.
What?
Not because the record isn't good. Hear me out a second. Not because the record isn't good, but because the way we talk about or how people talk about the Cowboys, we literally, on ESPN, we've been talking on programming about what's going on with the Cowboys offense. Like, why? Like, is Dak struggling? Like, what's going on with this team? Like, every team has injuries. Please don't tell me about injuries and the guys that they've missed, because the Ravens, that's the team where you can say they have no business winning any games because they lost half their roster in the preseason. But the Cowboys have had injuries. They've had COVID outbreaks. Okay, fine. But at the end of the day, we still wonder about the Cowboys. The fact that Jerry even was talking about Dak and his struggles, like, that to me that's not how we should be talking about this Cowboys team. Like, you've got one of the best offensive lines, you've got one of the best quarterbacks, and Mike McCarthy being conservative near the goal line, like, that's just the latest thing that makes me wonder about the Cowboys, because all the pieces are there. I think this team is loaded, but I do wonder if they've played as well as they can, or they should have, I should say.
The Dallas Cowboys have overachieved. Okay, that's number one. Everybody, I sat on Get Up all offseason and heard the Washington football team after they got Ryan freaking Fitzpatrick.
Didn't hear that from me.
I heard that they were going to win the division, and this was the team to be. Not pointing that at you, Kimberly, but that was the narrative. It would be them or the Giants, who we thought, because they got Galladay and they were going to be better, that was the situation. Another narrative: the defense is going to suck. I hate this energy about injuries too, because nobody kept the same energy last year. We talked about how bad the defense was. We talked about how bad the team was. And we didn't bring up that half the damn team was on IR. So I get it. I understand where everybody was before this season. Well, majority of the people were before this season started. Dak came back off of injury. How would he be? We start talking about Zeke. How would Zeke return? Zeke had fumble issues earlier in the season. Well, Zeke ain't the best running back, and it's still to be argued, but he's damn good for what they've been doing this season, barring the injury that he's dealing with the pain that he's dealing with right now in his knee. The team is 10-4. They've overachieved. Nobody thought Dallas would make this type of jump, and I'm going to strictly point to the defensive side of the football. We were like, well, maybe they could be half.
100%.
Like, if they half as good, they'll be a solid football team. They are elite defensively. 31 takeaways in the NFL, people, is elite when it comes to defense. You can tell me about yards they giving up or big plays. 31 takeaways. And y'all know I'm not a stat guy, but I will beg everybody, go look at what the effect of taking the football away does to your winning percentages as you get them throughout the series of a game. So the bottom line is this. They sit here at 10-4. We still have these questions, as we should, because the offense has been struggling. We just heard that piece from Jerry Jones. But I guarantee you, if I would have polled everybody before this season started, 14 games in, what would Dallas' record be? They'd have said 9-5, maybe 8-7, or something like that. This team is 10-4. They've overachieved up until this point. Now, what they've done in this season has increased expectations. The things that we saw happen this season in games have increased NFC Championship. I ain't even have them going to the NFC Championship before the season started. I had them winning their division and getting to the playoffs.
But
you're just not a believer. I don't know.
But Kimberly, here's my thing for you. Before the season, you thought Dallas would be where they are right now, 10-4 at least? With that defense. With
You thought they'd be in the NFC Championship?
They have a roster that couldn't make the NFC title game. I don't know if they will, but that's what I
don't
feel
want
like
to call you something now.
No, I'm saying before
you
the
better
season.
not.
I don't want to tell you
not.
that you're telling a story.
I'm not.
Well, you just
Not at
told me.
all.
Okay.
You just told me. Kim just told me I'm a non-believer. Did you have them in the NFC Championship before the season started?
I said preseason, I was like, this team needs to be in the NFC title game because they're that good.
With that coming off the injury, with the defense, with the questions, getting a new defensive coordinator. That's why I'm going with it.
For me, they were so bad. That defense was so bad. And yes, you could point to injuries, but it was so historically bad that there is no other way for this team to be. They can't be any worse. And you look at the division. To me, it wasn't about the NFC East. No offense, Molly. It was not about the NFC East.
NFC East, I know what it is.
You know what I mean? Like that. Like this team, the way it was set up. Micah Parsons. Nobody expected Diggs to have 7, 8 interceptions in every single game.
Nobody
right?
expected anything from this defense.
Now we check. Okay.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.